Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, and like I was saying, we are into January, and I cut grass yesterday. So cutting grass around here is 9 months, you know, somewhere around there. You could be cutting grass here for a while, and then when you do stop cutting grass, you a little while later you start cutting it again. So that's another reason I'm building this thing. If I could get a riding mower, you know, if my yard was big enough. Of course, land in South Louisiana is a premium. So, but anyway, let's get started back on. So y'all can see this. What I was talking about was the motor is going to be mounted here, wheel, chain drive, and then the other gearbox that you saw in the first video will mount here, and that's the reason for this. It'll come up right here and it'll turn it. We have to get this level. Fortunately, my little table here is pretty level. So from bolt hole to bolt hole where the motor goes, we're going to use that as a reference. So that's pretty much with the table there. I'm going to shim the back up a little bit to level it out. What we have to do is we have to get this level. I'll make a series of cuts here and here, and we're going to bring it in and then weld it up. The reason being this has to be level, because the gearbox, when it turns it, it's going to turn it this way. Now, even if the motor does come around and maybe wherever I mount it does hit this, this thing is going to pull itself right on around, all the way around 360 degrees that way, 360 degrees this way. So you run up to a fence, you turn it, and you can turn right and you can go. Are you going to cut all the grass? You're still going to have to weed eat. You still got weed eat with a regular conventional mower. Is this going to stick out a little bit? It's going to have to. The motor comes really close to right here. So that's the reason I left these here to tie into here to take care of any thrust, side thrust of going this way or going this way. So, you know, that's pretty much explains what we're trying to do here. So, and all these holes will be filled in. These will be filled in. It'll be sanded down and everything and painted up. I'm thinking fluorescent green with a flashing light so everybody knows get away. So, and that's another reason I built a little metal brake here, because I want to break some metal and do some other stuff and for this. So let's get started. got it welded. It looks pretty good this way and that way. Now we're going to check it for level. Now is the time that you can make an out of level adjustment before you put these on. And I should have that. That's pretty good right there. Okay. So we're going to come off of this. We're running a little bit high. But like I said, now is the time, because this frame is so flexible. Oh, too much. You can make an adjustment. But once those arms are on, that is not going to happen. There we go. So that should remain pretty much level all the way around. Okay, that's what you want. Now we can put our arms on. Now we're going to get that out of this right here. We're going to cut these tubes up, and we are going to make stabilizer bars that run all the way up to here. As me doing that, you probably saw why we need that. So this is going to be a either 8 to 10 inch wheel, and I've got to, if you go half distance of 5 and you look at 10, if it's 10, it's way up here. So I'm going to have to, these will have to be cut off, because I got a ride height that I got to match. So the 8 inch to me is more of an option. So if you hold 4, you can go all the way up to here with that on the 8 inch, and the bottom of your wheel would be pretty close right there. So we're going to have to go with the 8 inch. The only problem with that, the only ones I can find are in Harbor Freight, and they're a pink color. With that being said, if this thing works and it cuts grass, I could care less what color they are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make these right here tie in to like right here, and then that'll, this way and this way, it'll be stabilized. Don't say nothing about my welds, I ain't through grinding them yet. But anyway, that's it. We got this level. We're looking good on that. Looking good on that, looking good on all of it. So that's where that's got to stay. And like I said, you know, we can be able to cut these up. The motor will be mounted here, and it'll chain drive the front wheel, and the gearbox will turn this. And that's the reason it's real important to, and even this little offset right here, it's going to make a resistance difference. But if you notice the picture of the gearbox, it had the 3 prongs in it. What I'll do is I'll get a piece of shaft stock, drill the size of the shaft, and then cut keyways in them. Now, if you don't have a keyway cutter, there's always a file, and you can cut it with a file. There is some welding you have to do. That being said, but like I said, if you get all the parts up and you go to your local, everybody knows somebody's got a weld machine. One of these little MIG guns would be fine for this. Probably better than what I'm doing with the TIG, because it is kind of thin, and I'm way hot and I'm running fast and yada yada, and you know how that goes. So paint's going to cover that up. Not really concerned, just strength is all I'm after. I'm wanting to get this skeleton built and then start working on cutting these off, getting the shaft for this and the sprocket drive and all that for the wheel. So then once I get the wheel on there, then I'll know where to put the motor. And then the 8 inch, I'll have to make a bracket up for that, because naturally we won't want the deck maybe a ½ inch off the ground, maybe even less. The good thing about this is, I've been thinking about it, I think it'll contour better because it's pivoting on 3 wheels. So if you hit a high spot over there, it's not gonna it's going to more follow it, and with the 3 wheels than with the 2 wheels. But enough said. Let's get started on this right here. But let's say you just have a stick welder at your house. I'm going to stick weld these. So I'll be using a 6011 332 at about, I'm going to strike off on 50 amps and see if that'll work. It's going to be much easier tacking this up that way. And let's say suppose you just have a stick welder at your house. The tubing here has a little bit more thickness to it, so I don't think it's going to be any problem. But I could have stuck weld this too, and those little MIG machines, they would be perfect for that. So let's get to it. good to go. Side thrust this way. Anyway, so phase 1 is complete. Clean these up. Clean the welds up. And phase 1 will be done. Got to get the wheels. Figure out my height on that. Got to order the gearbox, servos, not servos, but yes, I do need a small servo. Some chain and the batteries. Takes money, takes time. This is going to be a winter build, so we are going to get the motor, the wheels figured out pretty quick. The wheels on it, the motor on it, and then the chain on it, and we're going to test it back and forth just by battery. So that's it. If you got a little big machine, that would be perfect for that right there. So a lot of people do have those. Get this all cleaned up, get this all sanded down. This whole thing will be painted. It's coming out good, guys. There's no reason why this is not going to work. So you want to find a cheap one, or somebody will give you one. I was given 2. And that's going to be just perfect. So hit like and subscribe. Thank you, subscribers. And thank you for watching.